Hello, how are you? I'm good. Thanks for asking. He's Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. It is another edition of Sports Junkies. Time to talk some high school basketball as we get ready for the seedings meetings coming up this week.
You said this was water.
I didn't drink it. That's yours.
It sure sounded like you drank it.
No, that's not right. Seedings meetings coming up this week.
This doesn't look like water, I'm telling you.
For high school basketball, you want to check out the Wendy's Varsity Blitz High School Basketball Coaches Show with Mike McGivern on Sports Radio 105.7 FM, The Fan, or AM 1250, whatever preference you'd like. On Saturday morning at 10 o'clock until noon, he'll give you updates right throughout the seedings meetings, telling you who's going where and who's playing who in the first round, as he'll have coaches calling in throughout the morning on that show. But as we get ready for those seeding meetings, obviously still things to be decided in the Southeast Conference. And Horlick and Case are battling it out. It looks like they're in the hunt.
I'll tell you, you can't say enough good things about either Case or Horlick. I mean, Case is the two-time defending Southeast Conference champion, and everybody was out to get them this year, and they're still right at the top. Steve Jaskolski's done a great job.
Was Diamond Stone the one that ate them alive?
He did, but you know what?
They recovered from that?
Yeah, they become actually better.
I didn't see the game. I just saw the numbers that Diamond Stone put up, and I was in awe.
Well, I know. I mean, who isn't in awe of Diamond Stone
these days?
A
monster.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Darren King, who is Case's center, used to go head-to-head with Diamond when they were younger, like in grade school, and Darren King stayed at 6'7". Diamond King at 6'10", you know, and that's been a big factor. But those two know each other well. They played against each other well, and he's maybe arguably the only guy in the state that can physically match up with Diamond Stone. But you know, getting back to Case, the guy that has really emerged, and he's been a good player his whole career, and he's my guy. You know where I'm going with this. He started as a freshman with King, which is incredible. At a program like that, you got to be a pretty good player. But he has now become more of a scorer. He used to be more of a distributor kind of guy to, start up the offense. But it's Tyrese Pinson. He's had some big games.
You like Tyrese Pinson? I didn't know that. Did you know that? I never heard the name before.
You know what? If he was going to the NBA, I would personally be his agent. Yeah. And no doubt about it.
Dripping with sarcasm.
But no, he has really taken his game to another level. Kirby has taken his game to another level. If those three play together, they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs. Now, you get over to Horlick, and Coach Tretlar has done an amazing job. Yeah. I think a lot of people thought coming into the season, like, hey, Horlick's going to be good. But guess what? They're really good. I mean, they could, and this might be a shock, they could get to state. If you're looking for a sleeper in this part of the state.
Tretlar and Horlick.
Absolutely. They are scoring points by the ton. They're getting like 75 to 80 some points a game. Their defense has been pretty good, not great but good. And the thing that's really impressed me is they're sharing the ball. I mean, a lot of times you see these running gun teams. It's like, okay, I got a shot, I'm putting it up. I saw a game last week where they passed the ball 5 times before they got an open look, which is credit to Jason for getting them to buy into this passing team. Yeah.
Who's the better team?
I don't know. I think right now it's a coin flip. The only advantage I see Case having is King in the middle. He's a physical presence, and if he stays out of foul trouble, he's going to get him, 18 to 22, somewhere in there, where Horlick really can't come back and counter with it. Few teams can.
Sure.
But Horlick's offense is just tremendous. They get the ball up and down the floor, and it wouldn't shock me one bit. They met somewhere along the line here, in the tournament.
It'll be interesting to see how that plays out there in the Southeast as we get ready for the city meetings again this weekend. Now, another team obviously talking about St. Cat's and the boys squad with Coach Letch.
Yeah, again, I mean, they lost a guy, maybe 2 guys from their varsity this year, and you thought, okay, they're going to be a decent team. But everybody knows if you got Coach Letch, the one constant through his whole coaching career has been his defense. Yep. And if you go back and look at all the scores this season, St. Catherine's has held their opponents in the 40s. And that's kind of a standard for Letch. He feels if you keep teams in the 40s, you got a chance to win. Right. And they've done that. And, you look across the roster, they don't have any, like, superstars like Horlick or Case or some other teams in this area. But, again, St. Catherine's has always been about the team aspect. And that wouldn't shock me. They have Dominican, by the way, playing Thursday at St. Catherine's, and it's going to be interesting. I don't know how they're going to. Again, we were talking about physical guys. The only way you got a chance against Dominican is if you have a physical player, and they do in Kelly Thomas. So I think Kelly Thomas is going to be a physical presence, and he's done okay with them. But, you know, Diamond Stone, as we've talked about so often, is a special player.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting because Callaway, who Dominican just played,
right,
the national team,
yeah,
they had them for lunch and dinner,
yeah,
and then woke up and had them for breakfast again. That's what they did to Dominican. And Diamond Stone played well, but really at the end of the day, I think Dominican just flat out got out coached. I don't think there's any question about that. I think anybody that watched that game was probably frustrated by watching that game, knowing Dominican really did make as many adjustments. There wasn't a lot of pick and rolls, wasn't a lot of doing of anything. They just continued to kind of beat their brain into a wall. They're heading into a wall doing the same thing over and over again, even though it wasn't working all that well. So, you know, you look at this matchup, and it's Letch against him.
Yeah.
I don't know what Letch could take away from that game, but if there's anything to take away from that game is if he finds that weakness of how to exploit Dominican, maybe that helps them win.
Yeah.
But again, don't take away from the fact that Callaway's got one of the best players in the country, talent-wise.
You beat me to
it is the biggest thing.
Exactly.
You know, that helps.
That
but
helps.
still, the coach...
That goes back to our argument last week where if you wanted a big guy or a center,
right.
This guy is a point guard. He's a 6'4" point guard. He's almost like a Jason Kidd in high school. He's going to be, without question, one of the top 4 or 5 guys.
I agree.
And I don't know if you heard this. This was the big rumor out in Las Vegas this summer, that Diamond Stone and Malik Newman, who plays for Callaway, were going to go as a package deal.
That's what I've heard, too. I had heard that before.
And the word was that Connecticut was going to get both of them right off the bat. Now,
doesn't look like it.
I don't know. Who knows? So I'm curious if anything has changed, but I do know they're good friends. And Malik Newman told me flat out, he said, that's the goal. That's what we want to do. He said, whether it's going to happen, we don't know, but that's what they ideally want to do.
You know, Marquette's got a scholarship available now with Muskoviak.
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
If I was Dwayne Wilson, I'd be over by Diamond Stone's house every night going, hey, dude, come on, man.
I don't think
Muskoviak ain't coming back. Come on. Come on.
You know, that thing is...
You put him with Ellenson up front?
They actually got 3 scholarships, and they're going to give one. They have already offered this to a 6'5" shooting guard out of Minneapolis.
To go with Cheatham, who they already have as a shooting guard.
Right, and he's going to replace Muskoviak. That's his spot right there. So, and then they're looking at some junior kids. How did we ramp off on...
Because you brought up Diamond Stone.
Yeah, but I'm also
going
in middle of prep.
So because you were talking about him at UConn, and I just kind of wanted to throw out there that Marquette, you know, and I don't know if Wojo even would have interest in him because he has Ellenson already. I would think you put those two together, and Marquette would good.
Yeah. But getting back to St. Catherine's, thank you.
Okay.
The guy I've liked last year, this year, is Zach Realmont. He's their point guard. And if you look at the point guard St. Catherine's had over the years, they've been really elite point guards. And I think he's an elite point guard. Now, is he a high Division I or mid-Division I player? No. But I think he's a Division I player. And he's just really smart. He knows how to run the offense. He doesn't make mistakes.
What kind of run could St. Cat's make?
All the way to Dominican in the sectional final. I mean, God would have to be looking out for them to beat Dominican, you know?
He is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. Steve Sparky, Fifer, Coach Letch. Looking for God if you find him. Coach Letch, no. Coming up next week, we'll talk a little bit more about how the tournament is going to look for state as we look ahead here at Sports Junkies, talking high school basketball at RacineSportsZone.com.